different junctures of your development. Different entities would present themselves upon the planet in different capacities to trigger you, fire you up, and remind you not to do it for you. We are one of those triggers, a catalyst. You feel a connection because we are assisting you in bringing your own information, your own knowing forward. All that you need to know now is inside of you. Psychological manipulation of consciousness through which reality is defined so that those who exist within it do not even realize that they are imprisoned. They do not even realize that there is something outside of where they exist.
Your last chance, last summer, your last dance, beat to your own drummer. Go out fighting, go out young, a flash of lightning, cliffs the sun. Last chance, last summer, your last dance, beat to your own drummer. Yourself.
experiencing more change now in a year previously experienced in 1,000 years. We can propagate that trend future and see that a day will come and will experience more change in an hour than we've experienced in the past 20, 30, 1,000 years. A situation like that is unimaginable. So we call it a singular place where the norms of modern singular by calling the eschaton the end of time. Technologically by thinking in terms of artificial intelligence, something like that. In whatever forms, we seem to be on the cusp of a dramatic evolutionary into a deeper order of complexity that biology plus culture has been able to provide. We're on the brink of something truly awesome, unknown.
Known as the egg of life. If we proceed to the second vortex motion as described in the previous video and remove all the circles from the seed of life except this central one, we create this new form consisting of 8 spheres. It's called the egg of life is because nature uses this form in the embryonic creation process of every single living organism on this planet with no exceptions. Nature chooses this form because it is the most balanced, most harmonious form possible.
his death in 2000, McKenna noticed an unrecognized pattern in the 64 hexagrams of the I Ching. The 6 lines and 64 possible combinations can be expressed as a ratio of change in each hexagram and plotted on a graph. When McKenna mapped that graph over a timeline, he found intriguing correlations that matched all 4,000 years of recorded history. His graph starts with the I Ching's creation in China's Shang Dynasty, the same period as the dawn of civilization in other parts of the world. The 64 hexagrams repeat 64 times over history. McKenna called his theory time wave zero. The highs and lows of his I Ching graph seem to have accurately predicted the fall of the Roman Empire, the discovery of a new world, and the world wars of the 20th century. But the strangest thing of all was that McKenna's timeline came to an end on one specific date. December 21st, 2012.
It was later that McKenna discovered that the Mayan civilization ended its calendar at the point of 2012. He felt there was something truly prophetic about that date.
Did the I Ching from ancient China and the Mayan calendar from medieval Mexico independently arrive at the same date for doomsday?
What I feel is particularly remarkable about the current time is that we have a number of prophecies that all seem to imply that something is going to happen in the 21st century.
transition from a low-dimensional world, say a world of 2 or 3 dimensions, to a world of 4, 5, or 6 dimensions.
Leave your cocoon for good, without feelings of doubt and insecurity. So spread your wings and show who you really are.
single point in all 6 directions: front, back, left, right, up and down, in equal measure. Bear in mind that the void is infinite and that distance has not been defined yet, so it does not matter how far these beings are. To define some boundaries, all God needs to do is connect the end of every point to the end of every other point. The beauty of this, and indeed the entire process itself, is that God cannot make a mistake. It is simply impossible. Once all the ends are connected, what we have is an octahedron, which if viewed from the correct perspective reveals a hexagram, also known as the Star of David.
that has a singularity. Your heart has a little cavity between the two ventricular of the heart, and that little cavity has the highest electromagnetic field of your body. It can be measured up to 8 feet away from you. And that's the battery of life.
That goes from the center out to the edge of the galactic halo that surrounds them. Stars move from this galactic disk out to the halo, down the vortices, and back out again. Stars like Arcturus, for instance, we know have done that path already. That's the appropriate description even for the atmosphere of our planet. The weather goes from the North Pole down to the equator and then back up, from the South Pole up to the equator and then back down. Even the dynamics on the surface of the Sun are very similar. Of course, here we're looking at it from an external perspective on a small scale model.
Proton volume to Planck volume ratio multiplied by the Planck mass to get the same result of 4.98 times 10 to the 55th grams, the entire mass of the universe inside every single atom. This is important because the Planck length relates directly to the Fibonacci number and Phi ratio, which is a key mathematical element in all self-replicating systems. The question is, what is replicating itself? Why?
When I presented that to physicists, I got my butt kicked pretty hard. Typically kicked out of physics conference. Why? Because, you know, I've got an atom in there that I'm saying is a black hole. Is the atom really a black hole? And that brings us to that paper I just published that's so controversial, and I assure you I'm still dodging plenty of tomatoes and rotten eggs. That paper is called a Schwarzschild proton, and it's kind of a bombshell. In very simple mechanical equations that I'm going to show you right now, I prove that the atom is a mini black hole. And how did I do that? I said inside a proton volume, right? The proton is like, let's say you have a simple hydrogen atom, you have a little proton, is the nucleus of the atom. It's very, very tiny in the middle. I said,
inside there, how much volume is there? And so I calculated the volume of a proton. It's 10 to minus 39. Depending on which radius you take, it's an approximation. 10 to the minus 39 centimeter cube. And I said, how much of this energy that's in the vacuum is still present inside the teeny weeny beady proton? And I made the calculation, which is pretty straightforward. And the result is 10 to the 55th grams within a proton volume. There's still 10 to the 55th grams inside the volume of a proton. Where did we see that number? The mass of the universe. The mass of the universe. Now remember our assumption, remember our statement, the vacuum connects all things. If that was true, that would mean that you'd expect all the information of every proton in our universe to be present in each one of them. And that's exactly how the math came out. Isn't that cool? This is actually the mathematical evidence, I'll call it for now, that everything is one. Alright? Now, no longer just a concept, no longer a dogma, now it's a mathematical, physical evidence. Like that? Yeah, right on. I thought I was don't want to be too obvious in those papers. I said, oh, you know, this number is evidence that all protons are entangled. Right? You know, if you use physics terms, and they'll listen. And so, this is all nice, you know, this 10 to the 55th gram per proton volume. Remember, 10 to the 55th gram is enough to make the whole universe a black hole. So obviously, if I take all of that as the mass of the unit of the proton, no doubt the atom is a black hole. But actually, how much of that do I need to take? Very little. In fact, if I only use 10 to the minus 39%, a very teeny, weeny, beady little amount of 10 to the 55th grams of energy, the proton becomes a black hole. The atom is a black hole. And so in this paper, in some ways, you could say that I'm saying that the vacuum is feeding all atoms. That the material world is basically 10 to the minus 39% of the energy of the vacuum. It's just a little beady weedy leak, teeny weeny leak of the vacuum. And it makes up the material world. You all follow this? So imagine if we tap this energy that's in space everywhere, we don't even need to tap anywhere close to 10 to the minus 39% of it. You know, if we tap if we cohere that energy, get it to work with us just a little bit, just a teeny weeny bit, we can produce enough power to power a whole planet for thousands and thousands of years. We can produce enough power to create gravitational fields, gravitational drive, travel across our solar system, travel across our galaxy, probably go from one galaxy to another or even one universe to another. We free our society from the bounds of being stuck to the surface of a planet, which is not a really good place to be.
revolution. Dancing on the floor. Surprise for you. Sweet child, can't close those eyes. Never say goodbye, never say goodbye to you. Sweet child, don't close those eyes. I got a nice surprise for you.
prospects of technology appeal to people's deepest fears as well as to their highest hopes. A rational debate about the future seems no longer possible. In fact, such discussion, by definition, is beyond our human capacities. Aren't we still too human to be prepared for becoming transhuman?
It is an enormous privilege to be alive right now and to be a part of this movement, and it's a very difficult time. I don't deny that at all. I look at it more as a birth pain, that here is this change that's occurring and we're coming down the birth canal and there's blood around and it's a difficult process, but it's a birth that is occurring. It's not a death. And I think that when future humans look back on this era from several hundred years in the future, they will not remember this time as one when we squandered the resources of the planet, when we destroyed our planet, essentially. They'll look at this as an extraordinary moment in time when we developed the basic technologies, the basis for their societies. We developed genetic engineering, the ability to basically rework our own genetic blueprint, which is something unprecedented. It's never happened in 3.5 billion years of history. We began to move out into space. For 3.5 billion years, life, all of life, has been constrained to this thin film on the surface of the planet. And now, quite suddenly, in just an instant in time, we're moving out towards the universe. And the third thing that has occurred in our era is artificial intelligence, computers. Suddenly, non-living material is beginning to achieve a level of complexity that rivals that of life itself. So these are three things that are absolutely unprecedented in the history of life, and they're occurring now. And is it any surprise that this is something that is jarring and shaking up the environment and causing extinctions? This is going to provide the basis, not just for the next 100 years, but for thousands of years, tens of thousands, if not millions of years.